has got me. Okay, I'm back. I know, it's been like a week and a half of absolute chaos, actually. We have, in that time, experienced the serious onset of a global pandemic. Multiple economies have crashed, and I got some new plants. Sorry. But today we're going to show off like 3 new plants that I got, give you some updates, and talk about isolation, the very, very important part of combating the Rona. So, your boy also got a motherfucking ring light. Yes, he did. Yeah. We will be potting up. What is that? What is that? Oh my god. What? I think my necklace is staining my t-shirt. How can I only see this in a ring light? Oh dear. So, the first new plant that I got this week is this beautiful Cissus striata. Now, Pam knows this, that I desperately want Cissus adenopoda, but it simply just is not grown here in Europe, and I know literally no one who is even collecting it. So it's going to be a long time until I get one. This is a good placeholder now that I'm finally getting into Cissus. As you can see, it's got those beautiful pedate leaves and palmate leaves, sorry. And it's starting to vine. There are so many cuttings in here, and it's really tall. It's really, 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 really tall. Gonna come out for me? Gonna come out? Hi? Hi, hi, hi there. It's in this really beautiful tall terracotta that I found in a little greenhouse. I bought it. I didn't just walk into a botanical garden like, oh, what a cute terracotta, thanks, and just bugger off. No, I did buy this. I think it was only like £1.20 though, so. The next one I got, which is from the same order, and I will tell you where I ordered them from. The next one is in a bell jar, because this one actually can handle room humidities of like 60 to 70 degrees, 60 to 70%, but you'll get the best out of it if it's hitting that sweet like 80 to 95% humidity. And that is this. Oh, please focus, because this is stunning. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. That's the money right there. Oh yeah. So, this is an Anectiochilus, Chiapens. I'm gonna put the name just below so you can see. But as you can tell, it is an absolutely stunning jewel orchid. It was labelled something really weird and just not possibly accurate at all. It was labelled Ludisia maccoides. So here's the tea. That's one genus name, Ludisia, which we are familiar with a jewel orchid around here. And then maccoides. Sounds like a bastardization of Maccodes petala. It's not a cross between Ludisia and Maccodes. There aren't too many of those out there because they don't tend to flower at the same time. And people who are keeping them don't tend to have much luck flasking the seeds, like I've been doing for the past 2 months, with no success. But I'm holding out hope. You know, I'm hoping that one day I'll just check and there'll be a bunch of tiny Ludisia babies in pots, which I'll be, you know, very happy about, but don't hold your breath. So, and then I got another new plant today, which is this beautiful Sansevieria masoniana. That's right, my first whale fin. Now, I know it seems a bit weird that I've got things like this, which are brand new philodendrons to science, potentially. And then, like, you know, 3 years into the game, I get my first whale fin, and there's a reason for that. Liked them from the sort of start, when I started getting into plants. Did not like the price tag for a whale fin, because in my honest opinion it is, you know, it's a Sansevieria, or now actually it's Dracaena, but who the fuck cares about that? The Rona. And in Europe, it just wasn't, they just weren't booming yet. Like in the US, I'm pretty sure every bloody greenhouse was growing them for a hot minute, because they sort of swept everyone away. That didn't really happen here. People were more than happy with their trifasciatas and their Laurentii. They didn't really want to spend 60, 70, 80 quid on a single leaf. So I waited until they went down in price, and they went down to like £10 now for like a, it said 20 to 30 centimetre. It's a bit strange, it's a bit boat shaped. It's definitely a fin trying to, you know, grab some water, just really, like you could definitely use that as a paddle right now, or potentially even a drinking glass if you were really desperate for a vessel. But I've got some generic houseplant soil and a lot of perlite, because goodness knows these guys need a lot of drainage. Now you're going to see my decision on camera. I've got these 2 pots. I have got this beautiful old patina-ridden 14 centimetre terracotta. Sorry, 11 centimetre terracotta. Or I've not got the intermediate size at the moment. I've got this 21 centimetre terracotta, which is significantly bigger, and I think at some point I wrote "Don't Die" on it. God, I must have kept a lily in there. I think I'm going to go with the smaller one, but I'm scared because these plants have a habit of growing, you know, really beautifully, and then literally cracking the pots they're in, particularly if they're ceramic or terracotta. They'll just like bust out of there. So if I put it into the small one, I'm going to need to kind of really keep an eye on things. But I do think that huge paddle will just look really cool coming out of a, you know, a relatively small pot. And I think it will also actually do it some good, because it's got a really sufficient, you know, amount of roots, though be it very, very dry. There are a lot of them right there. Oh, that's some root porn shit right there. Oh yeah. So I'm thinking, oh yeah. Oh, that's good shit. Okay. That's the good shit. Okay, we'll do that. So, now for me to mix the soil. So, isolation has been so what's a really weird thing is I suffer from agoraphobia. Not super severe, but enough that I very rarely leave the house. You know, tremendous social anxiety. Just have a really bad time when it comes to, you know, seeing people, which I think a lot of people can sympathise with at the moment. And isolation's been really weird because since I've been told to stay indoors, there's like this need to defy the authority and just go out and party in the streets and be a rebel and a deviant. But the reality is that isolation's there, in my country anyway, it's now fully mandated into the law to be isolated for at least a while, potentially a good few months of us all being isolated and us all, panicking in our houses. But it is a really effective way to stop the spread of this disease, which, probably won't affect me too much. Might give me a really bad week, and there is actually a chance that I may have just finished having that bad week with it because I started experiencing some symptoms over the past week. I'm just waiting for the tests to become available, and once they've made their way to people who are, really at risk, I'm gonna pick one up and just see if the antigenic material or the antibody material is in my system. If the antibodies in my system, it essentially means that I'm either fighting it off and have identified an antibody, or I have fought it off and they are residual T memory cells, because I studied biology. And if it's antigenic, that means that I have been infected and will either start experiencing symptoms, or would have been, which I have been. But it's difficult to tell because we're on the cusp of the end of flu season. We're entering spring, so colds are running amok again as well. But yeah, so that's weird and fun, and also crappy. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts over the past few weeks just to kind of try and keep myself sane, I guess. Mainly things from the iHeartRadio network, so like Even More News, Behind the Bastards, Worst Year Ever, which originally was about the 2020 presidential campaign, which was already a fucking shit show, but just to throw into the mix Corona, they were just like, well, we named the podcast correctly because it genuinely is the worst year ever, 2020. Absolute mess. And I keep seeing memes from like April 2020 spoilers, and it's like Godzilla fucking just trailing into a town and like aliens invading, because honestly, the dystopia that we are now all experiencing is insane. But yeah, that's kind of where I've been at. I will say for the past few days I have been experiencing a very generous bout of depression, which has been on and off for the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's the reason I haven't been posting, because I have had no motivation, and then to add the anxiety, the general anxiety of the lockdown on top of that, and then isolation. Just, you guys, it's a really rough time right now. Check in with your friends and family, even if they say they're fine. Really check in and just, reach out an arm of like, you doing alright? Do you want to talk? Here's some fun memes. Do something. Don't just expect everyone to be okay. And remember to also take care of yourself. Self-care is really, really important. Run yourself a bath. Try not to think about the steaming dumpster fire that is the world right now. Think about the fact that I finally got a fucking ring light, because now you can see all of my pores and my weird skin, and I'm so happy that you can all see that now, because, it's me. You can see the weird stain forming from the cheap metal on my necklace. You can see my top says Femme, and it does, because I am. So, she is potted up. sufficiently. I love her very much. Very, very much. Ooh. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, that's bright. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful week of isolation and potential lockdown. I'm going to try and post more videos this week, probably a few, because there's a lot of a good sentiment going around with creators everywhere. To make more at the moment, to really, you know, give people just lots of things to, you know, take their mind off of things. And yes, I know I haven't filmed a tour yet, and I will do that, but my room's a mess, man. You can see like a bit of it. It's a mess behind me, and I've got to really work up the courage to expose that to the world. So thank you for watching. I love you all, and subscribe to join the Deathly Cult, which is also my nickname for the US Republican Party.